Hello fellow ninjas. In this guide, I'll be detailing how I play Shadowblade, the perks and pet skills I recommend and use, and tips and tricks to help elevate your playstyle. Shadowblade is a legendary class unlocked after your 4th prestige or for 1400 Robux. He has high mobility by having a longer dash distance and can stealth to move faster. His Shadow Leap can be used to get to enemies faster and to reposition yourself to dodge certain attacks. What I think are core perks for Shadowblade are Glass, Untouchable, and Attack Up. Glass is the biggest damage producing perk Shadowblade can have. It insanely boosts your crit damage, and with this class you'll be critting a lot while using your stealth abilities. Untouchable helps make up for the reduction of HP from Glass by giving you a chance to dodge 1 out of 5 attacks at 20% skill cap, which could be the difference between living and dying. Attack Up will increase your damage, which will be amplified higher by your Shadow Cloak ability. Perks I recommend are Burn Chance, Vampiric, Damage Reduction, and Agility. Burn Chance will cause the target to burn for 4.5% of maximum HP every second. Elites take 2.25% maximum HP every second, while mini bosses and bosses take 0.45% maximum HP every second. Vampiric's base damage is 5% maximum HP every second, 2.5% for elites and 0.5% for mini bosses and bosses. There isn't much difference in damage between the two dots, but Vampiric is vastly superior to Burn for 2 reasons. It heals you when applied, and Vampiric has a 20% cap chance to apply the dot instead of Burn's 15% cap. Pets can get perks for Vampiric but not for the Burn chance. However, Vampiric is a Royal 10 perk and is much harder to find and therefore more expensive to buy. Damage Reduction will help reduce damage taken when Untouchable doesn't proc, when you commit to attacks for extra damage, or when you make a mistake. It happens. Agility provides you that extra movement speed to reposition yourself mid-fight or in between mob groups. This will reduce your travel time in dungeons and allow you to avoid hazards better than if you went without it. Quality of life perks I recommend are Mob Slayer, Elite Assassin, Boss Bane, and Crit Stack. Mob Slayer is a good option for running towers and nightmare dungeons without challenge mode on. Elite Assassin is a great choice if you are pushing challenge mode nightmare dungeons, since the increased difficulty level will drastically increase the number of elite mobs that spawn. Boss Bane should be used against all mini bosses and bosses, but beware, the increased damage taken from the perk will be felt more than with Mob Slayer or Elite Assassin. Some bosses will be able to one-shot you when you would normally survive. Crit Stack is a great option if you use a T5 dot pet. Otherwise, it's a good option to build up more crits in between Shadow Cloak uses. At 15% skill cap, it gives an additional 3% chance to crit per stack, leading to 15% increased crit chance at maximum stacks. Shadowblade has a lot of damage output, so you have more freedom with pet choices. You can go for better AoE damage with Meteor Strike or Black Hole, or you can go for more single target damage with Fireball or Poison Pierce Pro. Being melee, we often get bullied off of bosses from their AoEs and have to stop dealing consistent damage. To mitigate this loss, I prefer to use the Fireball T5 Spider Pet. I experimented and found that I can be doing good damage while I'm running around a boss, dodging their attacks. Roughly 1% health every 2 seconds or 6% over the whole burn status. With a 20-second cooldown and 12 seconds of burn status, this means that only 8 seconds will have the target not having the burn status from the pet skill in between uses. This pet skill allows you to run Crit Stack more freely since you will have a consistent application of the burn status effect. If you are fortunate enough to have a pet with the Snowstorm pet skill, then this would give you a massive damage increase that may lead to bursting down bosses before they even have a chance to force you away. If you Shadow Strike immediately following a Shadow Leap, both hits will be a crit. It must be done instantly or it won't register as a single hit for the guaranteed crit. The speed glitch is done by using Shadow Sneak, dodging, and then mounting. This will give you a long burst of speed while stealth. If you do not dodge but still stealth and mount, you get a small speed boost but won't be stealth for it. Use the no dodge method when you are trying to quickly grab mob aggro to group them up since you won't be stealthed. Shadow Strike's second hit will still hit if you jump or dodge. Use this to damage on the move or in between groups. Know which ability will give you the greatest damage yield for the situation while using your Shadow Sneak. If two enemies are stacked, using a Stealth Shadow Leap would give you the most damage, whereas if you have a group of mobs staggered and not stacked, then Shadow Strike is the best option, since the first swing that connects will crit all enemies that are hit. For single targets, you should always use Shadow Leap, since only the first hit of Shadow Strike is a guaranteed crit and does less damage than Shadow Leap's crit. Use your longer dodge to clear open areas and take shortcuts to improve your clear time. Using your Shadow Leap after a dodge with an enemy on the other side can have you taking routes most other classes just can't. Some examples are your ultimate is the best tool Shadowblade has. Your ultimate has massive AoE damage upon activation, so do not always pop it when you're backing off an enemy or you'll be missing out on large damage output. Do not waste your ultimate by using it too early, too late, when you have to back away, or when they are in an invulnerable state like when the dragons fly away. Practice when you want to use your ult on each boss to maximize your clear times. Some bosses' mechanics can even be cheesed by using your ultimate at the right time. Here are some examples. I hope this guide helps current and future Shadowblades. Leave a like or comment if this helped you out, or if you want to discuss my opinions. Happy hunting!